Before the stadium lights, before the trophies, before the luxury cars, before the number 7 became a global symbol, Cristiano Ronaldo was just a boy on a small island. Not a prince. Not a superstar. Not a child born into comfort. Just a skinny kid from Madeira, staring at the world from the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, with a football at his feet and a hunger that nobody around him could fully understand. This is not the story of CR7 yet. This is the story of the island boy. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born in Funchal, Madeira, Portugal, on February 5, 1985. Madeira was beautiful. Blue ocean, steep hills, narrow streets, and houses stacked across the mountainside like they were holding on to the island itself. But beauty does not mean life is easy. For Ronaldo's family, life was simple, crowded, and full of pressure. There was not much money. There was not much space. And for a child with a dream too large for his surroundings, the island could feel both magical and small at the same time. Cristiano was the youngest in the family, and from the beginning, he grew up around struggle, noise, emotion, and survival. He was not raised in a world where everything was prepared for him. He was raised in a world where you had to fight for attention, fight for respect, and fight for the chance to become something more. And very early, one thing became clear. The boy had energy that did not switch off. For some children, football is just a game after school. For Cristiano, the ball became something deeper. It became escape. It became identity. It became the one place where life made sense. On the streets of Madeira, on small local pitches, anywhere the ball could roll, Cristiano played. But even as a child, there was something different about the way he played. He was not casual. He was not relaxed. He played like every touch mattered. Like every goal meant something. Like every mistake was an insult. Other kids could laugh off a loss. Cristiano could not. If he lost, he cried. If he failed, he remembered it. If someone was better than him, he wanted to come back stronger. Some people might have seen that as childish. But inside that emotion was the first engine of the legend. He was not just playing football. He was learning how to hate losing. At a local club called Andorinha, Ronaldo's father worked as a kit man. The place was small compared to the stadiums that would come later, but for Cristiano, it became one of the first doors into the world of football. The smell of grass, the sound of boots, the shirts, the training, the older players, the seriousness of the game, all of it entered his mind early. A football club, even a small one, can become a temple for a child. And for Cristiano, Andorinha was one of those places where the dream stopped being imaginary and started to feel real. He was still a boy, but people began to notice him. Not because he was the strongest. Not because he had the body of an athlete. But because he moved with purpose. He attacked the ball with urgency. He wanted it more than others. He hated being ignored. He wanted to be seen. And that hunger, even before the muscles, even before the fame, was already there. But talent is not enough. A talented child still has to survive doubt, pressure, and the limits of his world. Madeira could give Cristiano a beginning, but it could not contain everything he wanted to become. His next step was Nacional, one of Madeira's bigger clubs. For many young players, that would have already felt like a victory. But for Cristiano, Nacional was not the end of the dream. It was proof that the dream was growing. The island boy was starting to rise through the island. He was moving from street football into real football. From raw energy into training. From childhood obsession into something more serious. People around him could begin to see it. This boy was not normal. There are children who want to become footballers. And then there are children who seem almost offended by the idea of being ordinary. Cristiano was becoming that kind of child. But growth always asks for a price. And soon, the price would become very real.